Welcome to the ocean, welcome to the sea. We build our story in OceanBlock MC.
On today's adventure, we are going to become engineers and start in on our pressure suit. I'm very excited. I've already made all the components we need to become engineers, and I want to show you how to set it all up. So let's get to it. The first thing you might notice is we have a coke oven. Coke oven will produce creosote oil, and you can produce coal coke with it. Coal coke is going to be needed to make steel, which is going to be needed to make power, which is going to be needed to make our pressure suit. So anyway, this is just a 27 block structure. So you put 3 by 3 by 3 of these coal coke bricks, and then you hit it with a hammer. The quest actually walks you through it. I put a bunch of coal in here. You can actually feed this with pipes. I've got the creosote oil being fed out, and I've got the coal coke being fed out. Now, creosote oil doesn't come from coal, it comes from burning logs. But I burn a bunch of logs in the time I've been away. So I also made this, which allowed us to make some vacuum tubes, which allowed us to get into Oritech. Okay, so we became engineers and we made this table. And the table helped us make some other things, and some other things led to all of this. One of the quests asks you to make the foundry because we need steel, and steel and coal coke in this foundry right here will make steel. And so to get the foundry working, you had to make these improved machine cores, and then you have to power it. So for Oritech has a power system that is steam powered. So you have a steam generator here, and it produces about 150 FE per tick. But to get the steam boiler, the steam engine to work, you got to power it with steam. So you need this magmatic boiler, which takes lava and turns it into steam using this steam boiler add-on. Basically, you feed in water. This takes magma and makes it hot, turning the water into steam. And so that's how that works. It puts the steam into this steam engine, and the steam engine pumps up and down. It's kind of cool. We're going to set it up here in a minute. Now, one of the quest rewards was a machine efficiency add-on. I keep wanting to say item frame because the word item frame is right above it. But it's a machine efficiency add-on, and this just goes onto our magmatic boiler to make it a little bit more efficient. So how do we get the steam, the water, an infinite water and lava source? Well, there's several ways, but lava is pretty easy. We'll use a cobble generator. We'll feed it into a tempered glass jar with some heat underneath it. Put an automator on it, and it will automatically make a whole bunch of lava. It'll just keep going and going and going. We then need some way to hold that lava. So I've made a jumbo tank from Mob Grinding Utilities mod, and that will hold 1,000 buckets of lava, which is plenty. So then we need water. So using a flopper system, I'll show you in a second, we'll feed water into an ender tank, and then we'll have our ender tank put that fluid into the boiler. The lava will be item piped into the magmatic boiler as well. So you'll need item pipes and fluid pipes. And then this steam engine will start producing energy, and we want a way to store that. So we'll make basic item or energy cubes, and we can move the energy using the basic universal cable or the energy pipe that's part of the Oritech. And then one other thing that we just kind of need is this little fluid trash can, because the steam engine produces water, and so we want to throw that water out, and you can just feed it into the fluid trash can. So yeah, that's all of this. So I've really oversimplified this in the manner, let me see if I can speak. So I've really oversimplified it. I'm going to show you how to set all this up, but making these components takes kind of a lot. There are things like silicone and quartz and other stuff in the game, materials and stuff that you have to like work to get. So that's why it's taken so long, and I just kind of want to do it like this because this process was, for me, was kind of a mess. And so as you get all this stuff, you'll want to kind of play with it and get it all set up. But I'll show you the proper and appropriate setup, or at least the one that I think is the best, here in a second. I will tell you this, the energy cube here does require you to get a metallurgic infuser, which requires steel. So that's the reason you kind of want to set up your foundry first and just kind of get that going with using some of the items that you already had. So I actually made a little bit of steel using the thermoelectric generator and these photovoltaic cells that I found and that I already had. That way I could make just a few steel, and it takes forever. But once you get this given power, then it goes a little bit quicker. It still takes forever, by the way. I think we'll make 2 of these and maybe feed 2 of them, but I'll show you the basic setup. Okay, let's get all this in our inventory. And we'll start with lava and water, because those are 2 things we're going to need. Oh, by the way, we also tamed a little kitty cat. We haven't named him. I'm going on a trip, and I will be gone for about 2 weeks. So between this episode and the next one, there's probably going to be 2, maybe 2.5 weeks in between episodes. So in that time, as you watch this, leave a comment and tell me what we should name our cat. Anyway, remember we made this little base last time. So down here, I actually have put a door to water out here. And what we're going to do is use a flopper and where is it at? An ender tank. A flopper just needs an infinite water source above it, and it'll fill whatever's below it. So we're going to fill our ender tank using our flopper. That ender tank will then feed into any other ender tank with the same set of colors on top. And in this case, we just have it as white, white, white. Okay, let's put these down. I'll show you how we got to get lava. So here's how lava works. We're going to make lava with 2 cobblestone generators, 3 apart. On top of each cobblestone generator, you need these chests. That way it has an output. We are going to then put down a couple campfires and jars on top of our campfires and automators on top of our jars. This will automate our lava production. The jars have to have an output, so you can make a jumbo tank from mob grinding utilities that will hold 1,000 some odd blocks, and then we're going to feed from this chest into the jar. You need to do that with item pipes. Now this gets really tight, so you might want to click the output on the pipe before you connect it all the way. There we go. Now that's connected, and we have to start it up. Oh, actually it starts up by itself, so there we go. So now we're generating lava. So lava is going to have to be fed into our system. So we're going to do that. Let's set the system up. And then next, we're going to put our boiler down. So stand facing away from your lava source, and you can put it down like 1 block away, like that. And then don't forget, you need a improved machine core, and you click on it. This will go ahead and make the whole machine. And then we need a fluid pipe. Make sure it's fluid pipe. And you're going to feed the fluid pipe in. Make sure you click on that. Now this thing is getting lava. and it will start working. We do have the two add-ons. We need the steam boiler add-on and the efficiency add-on. Now the steam boiler is going to will input water and will output steam. So now earlier we took care of our water downstairs, and so we have an endless amount of water, and we're going to put our water tank there, our ender tank. We'll feed it in to the boiler. So now this is generating steam. We want to output that steam into our steam engine. Alright, so it's time for our steam engine. We can just put him right here. He needs 3 cores, just like that. And you click on him and he'll make his. I think the difference in the values of the item core is just efficiency. Don't think it speeds up the process or increases anything, but I may be wrong. I just think that it's kind of cheap to get the improved machine core because it's nickel and we've got plenty. So we're going to now go from the steam boiler, click this here to output steam, and now we are generating power for the first time. We're going to want to go ahead and output our water. Okay, like I said, we're going to want to output our water. Make sure that these aren't connected. So now our excess water is just being drained. Our steam is coming in, it's generating energy. So that's basic power. Now let's look at how we can take the power and turn it into use of the foundry. So now let's set up our foundry. I want to set mine up here on the wall. So I'll put it there, put in my core blocks and touch it, just like everything else. Now we need to bring power to our foundry. So I think the best way to get power out is to use the energy pipe. We'll click it there, and then the basic energy cable. You can see now it's being fed with the power that this is generating. So let's talk about the basic energy cable, or any of these energy cable blocks, because you may wonder why it's not working for you. And one of the things is that it has this configurator on the side. And so right now you can see that it's showing that that little energy cable is the input, and it's trying to output through the bottom, which is the frame block, or the right, which is the trap door. We want it to come out the front here. Whoops, not with that cable. We want it to come out the front and feed into here. So now we can go and configure it and say this is going to be an output, and you can see that we automatically instantly have power over here. And so the foundry makes steel with iron and coal coke, all of this to make steel. So if you do find some steel in some of those drops, the air drops, or just when you're out on the ocean, keep it, save it. It'll come in handy. It is a precious commodity, and you can see it kind of goes pretty slow. So that's that. That is our setup. The cobble generator generates cobble, which is fed into the tempered glass jars, which creates lava. It's automatic because of the automators. We keep our lava in a jumbo tank and then feed it into the magmatic boiler, which has the steam boiler add-on. We have water being generated with a flopper in the ocean somewhere and fed into our ender tank, and then fed into this ender tank and out into the steam boiler, which takes the lava and turns it into steam. The steam is then being output into the steam engine, which takes the steam and turns it into about 127 RF per tick, which then we can feed directly into our machines or into an energy cube, because like right now we're not using as much as we're taking in, so it's going to go up and eventually this operation will be finished, and we want to save the energy when we can. Now, one more thing I want to show you is that I've been having a problem with this chest keeping up, and I've been having to take all the stuff into my inventory and click on the storage controller right here, and I can just double click and watch it just goes out of my inventory really quick. Boom, boom, out. So the storage controller is not the problem. The problem is these pipes only take so much. However, there is a thing called a pipe booster. The pipe booster takes power, and when given power, it will latch on to the pipe, and you can see it's not working because it's not powered yet, and it will be able to, it'll boost the pipe to be able to move like a whole chunk at a time, or like 64 at a time. So let's get power to this and watch and see if this guy can catch up. You can see like it's just not keeping up. I'll even clear it out here. Okay, and we'll go feed some power to this pipe booster and see if it can help fix our problem. Okay, so let's go up here and I'll show you what I did. I went ahead and added another basic energy cube. So I'm going to look at the top one and make sure that the top one is input/output from the bottom. That way it can suck in if it needs to, or it'll suck out if it needs to. And then I've hooked my pipe, my universal cable, to all the way to that pipe booster. Pipe booster is now rolling. You can see it's now working, and we are keeping up fine. So pipe booster for the win. And if you kind of haven't seen my setup for my ender chest, let me show you that real quick, and you'll see how good that's actually holding up, because we have a lot of stuff being fed into that one ender chest. Okay, I'm down in my production area, and so this is producing a ton of resources at a time. And so that ender chest is doing a great job of keeping up. So the pipe booster, that's kind of an extra addition, and I'm glad I got to show it to you guys. So you know how we just talked about the energy cube? One of the things you need to make it is this alloy, and it can be made in a metallurgic infuser. And my tip is that if you can afford it, make 6 of these, and that way you can just have them going. They are slow. You actually can upgrade, but the upgrade takes so much power, it's way easier to just make 6, or if you really want to jump up like 12, but 6 should do the trick. You're gonna, to make the infused alloy, it's just redstone and copper, and from there you can make a ton of those energy cubes. But with 6, you can just have these things going. They're loud as heck, but I've got 4 of them going right now, and all I'm using is this photovoltaic module and a couple of thermoelectric generators, and it will keep the system fed. And then you can walk away from it and just let it go. So you always want to walk away from it because it's kind of loud. So now this thing is loud. Everything's loud in this game, but you can see that I've got a full 1.6 million energy stored up in the bottom one, and the top one is now starting to store up because this is done with the 6th steel that I wanted. Words are hard sometimes. But yeah, and I picked up my metallurgic infusers because I don't need those for a while. Oh, we just got a reward. I don't know. Okay, so we have now gone through all of this to get the powered foundry. And now we need to work towards a breath of fresh air and maybe a suit that can have pressure. Let's check that out. And this I haven't done, so we'll set this up together. Adamant, I know how to do it. So we can get through that. I've actually made these because you need them. Another smelter, an alloy smelter. Let's throw that on our list of things to make. These reinforced pressure tubes, we'll put that on our list of things to make. And then advanced pressure tubes, we'll put that on our list. So let's do those and get that reward for that. Okay, here we go. So it wanted us to make this adamant. I'm adamant that I can't see words today, or really always, but that's okay. Let's make a couple of these. Ooh, we just had enough. Okay, the next was the alloy smelter. So we need some iron gears. We can make those, and a cauldron. So let's grab the cauldron, go over and make some iron gears. Okay, iron's in there. Make a couple gears here. Alright, let's make this thing. Alloy. Oh, we need the void chassis. Grains of infinity. Okay, I was confused for a second, but we have deep slate. And it looks like if we set it on fire, it'll burn and maybe make a grain of infinity. Okay, grains of infinity. Here's how you make it. You just burn deep slate, and it doesn't work every time. Then every now and then they'll blow up and give you one. You can see right here in my inventory, you'll hear a boom, and then it'll give us one. It is not every time for sure. There. We got a couple. Okay, well. There we go. Now we got our grains of infinity. Now we can finish this up. Okay, where are we at? Alloy smelter. Void chassis. Make some iron bars. Made iron bars. Okay, now we have our void chassis. We can make our alloy smelter. This will help us tremendously. Alright. I don't want to play with it now because the next thing we need to do is make our reinforced pressure tube. So, I think that's just steel and pressure tubes. To make pressure tube, you need compressed iron ingots and glass. And we have that. So let's make a couple of these. And then we can make our reinforced. So we've got our reinforced pressure tubes. Now we can make our advanced pressure tubes because it just takes the adamant. There we go. Done. Okay, let's get all these rewards real quick. A lapis necklace. And some of that as a reward. And a good old apple is a reward. And we made this earlier, the flux compressor. So let's grab the rewards for it. Reward collection. Oh, a chaos box. We are not opening that for a while. Okay. So, where are we at? We are here. Let's try to make a pressure suit. Craft the pneumatic helmet and leggings, then craft the charging station to use to modify and charge your pneumatic gear. We are so close, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and throw these in the line up. What is this? Oh, the charging station. Okay, let's try to make those. Alright, first things first, the pneumatic leggings. Looks like I'm going to need some compressed iron leggings. Starts with leather pants. Then we have compressed iron. We keep getting that from looting, from barrels and the airdrops, so that's pretty easy. Now we need to make the air canisters, which are just compressed iron again. I don't know how much of this we have, but it looked like we needed 4 air canisters and a logistics core, which is reinforced brick and redstone. So reinforced brick is just stone with compressed iron. So there's some reinforced brick. Let's make it the logistics core now. Ooh. What do I need? Reinforced bricks. Reinforced stone. Okay. There we go. Now we have reinforced bricks. We need the reinforced brick tile. Okay. Now we have all of that. Okay, and we got 2 cores. So now, here is the moment of truth. All in just a few seconds, we now have pneumatic leggings. These leggings provide some useful movement boost when upgraded. Pressure 0 bar, insert a charging station to install upgrades. Okay. That's huge. Alright, now let's make the helmet, pneumatic helmet. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pressure jars and a compressed iron helmet. So let's start with the helmet. We will make a leather cap, then the helmet, then we need 7 of these air canisters. I'm just holding my breath because I have no idea how much, if we have enough materials to make these. We already have the logistics course, so we definitely now have the helmet. Guys, we got a pressure suit. Alright, and the charging station. Gotta make some more of these reinforced stone bricks. Just gonna keep clicking the buttons because I don't know which is which. There we go. Charging station is done. And we have finished this part of the quest. Okay, now it's time to dig a little deeper. We need to make the bring on the pressure, whatever it is, flux compressor thing. So let's add chamber walls to our queue, chamber interface, and the chamber valve to our queue. Let's craft these. Alright, what do we need for chamber wall? We need reinforced bricks, which can be made with reinforced stone, which can be made with stone and compressed iron. So it looks like we needed quite a bit of those. So reinforced brick can be made with reinforced stone. Okay. We needed 24, but we'll make 32. The pressure chamber interface is next. Okay, to make this, we need 2 chamber walls and a hopper. So we are just missing the hopper. That's easy enough to make. There we go, 2 chamber interfaces. Done. Now we need the pressure change. To make this, we just need a pressure tube and a chamber wall. And it said we only needed one, so let's just make one. Quest complete. Nice. Okay, let's check the next quest. Let's get these rewards though. And then check what we have next. Processing for an upgrade. We already have that one. We need the thermopneumatic processing plant. Let's put that in our list and make it. I hope we can make it. Nope. So we need 2 small fluid tanks. Should be able to make those easy enough with our compressed iron and iron bars. And what else? We just need some more stone slabs, and we just made some of those, so we have those. And we just have that pressure tube, so now we have the pneumatic pressure thingamabobber. New chapter unlocked. Nice. Look at that. Let's go ahead and make upgrade matrix. It looks like we need to take the thermobobulator and put a lapis in it. So let's do that. Okay, let's try this. We got some water, some lapis. There we go. We made some combobulated. So let's add some more water and see if it'll keep combobulating. Yep. There we go. 12. Nice. Okay, let's click those off. Take our rewards. How do we pressure our suit? Scuba upgrade. Let's put that on our list. And the depth MK1 upgrade. And if you read this, it says craft and install the scuba and depth upgrade to apply soulbound. Oh yeah, we know how to do that. Okay, let's do that. Let's craft these up. Here we go. Scuba upgrade. We don't have hardly any of this. So fused quartz, air canister. So let's get these things. So we are out of quartz, but that leads us to kind of a side quest here that we can do quickly. One is that we have made the nether essence, and now we have enough of it so that we can make a significant amount of netherrack. And then we can crush that and put it in our sluice. But when I'm thinking about sluicing here in a second, I just realized that we can now upgrade our mesh from gold to diamond. So let's do that real quick, just kind of a side quest. Our whole production is on hold right now because I've taken all the meshes out, and I think I've got them all. And I'm getting ready to go up and turn them all into diamond meshes. Okay, let's see. I know we need diamond bars, so let's go. Let's look at our mesh. Do diamond mesh. I've made some steel rods. By the way, steel rod's just 2 steel. Makes 4 rods. So I think, oof, that takes almost all of it, but we should be able to now make all 8 of these nice into diamond meshes. Okay, now let's reinstall these. That just helped our efficiency. I don't know if we can like get anything else or find anything else with the diamond, but I feel like it's going to be more efficient. So yeah, you definitely get different things with diamond mesh. So we're getting a lot more quartz, and we're actually getting blaze powder now. Okay, let's make this glass. Basically, throw some quartz in. I think it's 4 quartz for every glass pane. and then you put a piece of glass down. And you fill the glass with quartz, and it makes fused quartz. Let me show you how to do that again, because that wasn't a very good demonstration. We just melted our quartz by putting it in here. It melted. Now you can see we have 360 millibuckets of quartz, which is 4 quartz. We just put it in the casting basin with a piece of glass, and there we go. Okay, we are making the scuba upgrade. Got a lot of stuff to make. Compressed iron gear. That was pretty easy. We need to make ferrocore ingots. I think I have a whole ferrocore block. I got 3 of them. We've been getting these ferrocore blocks from airdrops. So there we go. Those are done. Whoops. And what's, oh, 1 air canister tube. We already made a whole bunch of those. So now we have the scuba upgrade. It wants us to do the depth upgrade, which is going to require another adamant, which is going to require nickel and some energetic alloy. Okay, here we go. Alloy smelter. I hate that noise, but that's the other thing. You need a basic capacitor for this, which was fairly cheap. It was just 2 grains of infinity, some gold, and copper. So there we go. Let's put these 3 things in and let them burn. Okay, we just need 1 more adamant, and there we go. And we have the MK1 upgrade. So it looks like, let's grab this reward. Oh, there's our capacitor. I didn't have to make it, but it wasn't that bad anyway. So we have finished. It's a couple soulbound, an eclipse alloy ingot, and another chaos box, which I don't really want to open right now. Okay, one thing I do want to do is build the pressure chamber. So let's do that. Got all these blocks. You can make it 4x4 or 5x5 or 3x3, but it has to be hollow. I think I'll do a 4x4. So there's 4. I want to save the bottom. Do it like that, like this. Fill the top in here. And then I want the chamber interface and the valve. Boom. Now I have our pressure chamber. So all the loot we've collected, we've been getting a bunch of these blue upgrades. So I'm going to grab all of them just in case they'll be helpful. Alright. Okay, so here is the charging station. Right now it looks like I can upgrade. Put 4 hearts and armor upgrade, security upgrade. What's this do? Okay. Couple speed upgrade. Nope, no speed upgrade. Depth doesn't work. Volume seems to work. Speed. I can add a security. Flippers doesn't work, but scuba does work. I added all those upgrades to this. Now it looks like it has that. What about the pants? The pants, I'm going to click here. Just kind of click on everything. Pretty much nothing except for the depth. But now max safe dive depth of 160 meters. That's interesting. So does that mean if I put this on, I can dive down and I won't get the depth problem, or I won't die? Alright, let's go ahead and make the pneumatic chest plate. It took me some looking around. And pneumatic boots. Oh, come on, I've got this. There. Oh, maybe I don't have enough leather. Okay, cows. Alright, I just pulled up on our farm and we got into data with animals. Gonna need some leather, guys. Just a couple. That should do. Thank you for your service. Better get one more. Perfect. We do have an airdrop. Okay, so we had enough leather for the chest plate, but we're gonna need some for the boots. So just a second here. That gives us our chest plate of compressed iron. Let's make this one here. We don't have enough leather. I want to show you another way to make leather besides killing cows, because we have a lot. Where is it? Of rotten flesh. Well, we do have a lot, I promise. It's just not on us right now. It's down here. There we go. We have tons of rotten flesh. If you use this drying basin, you can put a rotten flesh in, and in just a few seconds it turns into leather. I'm sure if you want, you can automate this and have tons of leather. But for us, we just need 4. Okay, leather required. Let's go ahead and make our leather boots. Think we might be out of compressed steel. I think we can make that. No problem. Let's see, we need these tanks. We don't have enough compressed iron. Okay, let's see. We've got to make a bunch of these air canisters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 10 is the right amount. Alright, let's make this. Chest plate done. Boots. Pneumatic boots done. We have our whole set. Guys, next time we're gonna go diving. Check out this armor though. Look at us. But for now, that's gonna be all. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and have a good rest of your day. Thank you.